Hi everyone. Have you ever heard of the saying, you are what you eat? I tend to disagree with that one a little bit. We're more what we digest properly and assimilate or absorb into our bloodstream and then into our cells. Because if we don't digest things properly, it goes out the back passage and we're none the better. Mm-hmm. And we've seen lots of clients over the past 25 years, thousands of clients, and lots of them come to us with a very broad spectrum of lots of differing diseases, from no energy or complaints,
skin issues,
digestive issues, mental
health challenges.
Yeah, depression. And we've come to find that the digestive system is really the central pillar to all the other systems in the body. Mm-hmm. If we haven't got a good digestive system, then all the other systems suffer.
Mm-hmm. They break down.
They break down. And we've put together 3 tips, 3 pointers to
help you restore your digestion.
Yeah, to help with this. And the first one,
is boosting your stomach acid levels, right? So Pete, do you want to tell that story about the soldier in the...
Back in the Civil War, apparently there was a soldier got blasted by
a cannonball.
A cannon, and he was still living, but he had been ripped open and his stomach was actually visible and torn open as well. And the doctors at that point in time didn't really know much about the inner workings of the human body. So they actually placed a bone in this soldier's stomach, right inside the stomach, and it actually disappeared.
It digested it.
It dissolved it. And that's how strong the acid content in our stomach is. It's one of the most...
It needs to be like that.
It's most acidic place on earth. And I'm not sure whether you know much about drug cartels, that they have rival gangs and they get rid of their opponents' bodies in hydrochloric acid baths. They dissolve the body and then nothing is left. Well, that's our stomach. It's the same as that. We swallow big lumps of meat down into our stomach and they disappear. They get dissolved and broken down.
That's a good thing. We're saying that's a good thing.
And if we don't have that, food isn't digested properly. And also the bacteria that we swallow on the food isn't killed. Not sure if you understand the pH scale, but 0 is as acidic as you can get, 7 is neutral, 14 is as caustic or alkaline as you can get. And then if it gets to a pH of 3, which is still quite acidic, bacteria aren't killed and they stay alive, the food isn't digested properly, and the bacteria start fermenting the food in the stomach and produce gas, and then that's when people get bloating, burping and reflux.
And heartburn, what they call heartburn.
Yeah, heartburn or reflux. And there was a staggering, it was 784 million people worldwide were diagnosed with gastroesophageal reflux disorder back in 2019 worldwide. And they most likely would have been put on medications to stop their stomachs producing hydrochloric acid. So they wouldn't have been breaking their food down at all when they were on those medications. And we have quite a few clients who have been started on those and they've been on them for decades.
And now they've got brittle bones, brittle nails, their hair is falling out, and they're very, very sick. Yeah. Because your minerals are not being digested. Like Peter said, your whole health starts to break down because it depends on a healthy stomach fire in your stomach.
Amino acids are the breakdown of proteins, and they are the building blocks for new cells. And if our cells get the things they need to produce good cells with, because we're producing cells all the time, new cells, we'll make better cells, and those cells will work properly, and then we will work properly.
That's right. Especially proteins too. You need healthy stomach acid levels to digest your proteins.
That's what it digests mainly, is the protein source. But people with deficiency diseases or disorders like anemia,
pretty much everything
and
that we come across.
Brittle bones, osteoporosis, you can guarantee they're not digesting their food properly.
Poor eyesight even.
Yeah. Often poor deteriorating eyesight is the first sign of poor digestion, or your body not getting amino acids, because they're the smallest muscles in the body, and then they lack amino acids and they'll start deteriorating first.
Your eye muscles are the smallest muscles. Yeah. All right, so that's your stomach. So we suggest most people in the world today benefit from betaine HCl to boost your stomach acid levels. They're very affordable, so this is 240 capsules, which will last you probably for 3 months or something that.
It'll last a long time.
And it's really only $42. So
and when we are stressed, which if we have a stressful life, we don't produce hydrochloric acid, because that's the last thing the body needs to do, is digest food when we're running away from a lion or a tiger.
And most people actually are stressed out.
Yeah, we live stressful lives these days. And then
Step two,
the stomach is the only place in our body that can withstand that acid. Small bowel likes to be
alkaline
or neutral pH. So it has to go from a pH of between 1 and 2 to a pH of 7 within a few millimetres.
That's incredible.
And the way it overcomes it is the stomach lets out a tiny little bit of food at a time out of the bottom sphincter. And each time that sphincter opens and closes, the gallbladder gives a big contraction, a big gush of bile, races down and mixes with that stomach contents. And the bile is an alkaline substance of a pH of about 9. So it's 100,000 times difference in pH. And that fizzes and bubbles and blows the food to smithereens. It completes the digestive process.
It would be like you used to do high school experiments, didn't you? Well, I didn't do them in Holland.
If you pour vinegar on bicarbs of soda, if you make a volcano, if you ever made a volcano when you were a kid, and pour the vinegar in on top of the bicarbs of soda, the explosion that happens, that's what happens just out, or is meant to happen just outside your stomach. Now, we need to keep that bile flow going for that to happen. And often we clog up our liver with too much stored fat, and it's overworked the liver because we're bombarded with lots of toxins these days, and it is terribly overworked. We find that probably over 90% of our clients have livers that are overworked and not being able to get rid of the bile properly.
Overworked and underpaid.
Yep. So Beet Flow is a supplement that dilates the bile ducts, so the bile will flow properly, and you can also add in some choline to get the gallbladder contracting a little bit better. Eggs are also high in choline, so if you have a lot of eggs, you'll get the gallbladder contracting, because we need that big gush of bile to neutralise the stomach acid.
Also, if you don't have a gallbladder, you definitely need to substitute with something like ox bile to supplement what your body is not getting now. Often when we have clients and we take their history and we say, okay, when did all these problems start? Like, I'll just make it up, arthritis or migraine headaches or you name it. When did all the pain start in your body? And then they think and then they go, 20 years ago. Then we say, what happened 20 years ago? And then they'll often say, oh yeah, that's when I had my gallbladder removed, right? So it's very important that you keep looking after your liver, and if your gallbladder is gone, you need to supplement with the workings, the products that your gallbladder used to give your body, which is highly alkalized bile, right?
And you need that bile to digest your fats with. And we are made up of lots of
fats,
fats.
really, yeah? Fats and water.
About 70% of our body is actual fat.
After you dry the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we recommend ox bile, so you can find it on our website as well, and beet flour, of course, as well.
The third point I want to bring to your attention is the role of enzymes, and something that you probably don't know about me. In my teens, I developed intolerances to different foods. If I ever went out and ate fish, it always wanted to swim a couple of, or 1 or 2 hours afterwards. And I became isolated and...
Sometimes you nearly had anaphylactic shock energy.
And lonely and depressed. But then when I was about 30, I guess, or a bit after, I was introduced to enzymes by a vet. Local vet was using enzymes to improve the health, digestive health and fertility and lots of things in animals. And he suggested I could give them a try, which I did.
He took one look at Peter and he said, you need enzymes.
I started taking enzymes with every meal, and my digestion turned around like that. I can eat anything now. My digestion is cast iron. Mm-hmm. And 4 or 5 years after I'd started taking enzymes, I realised I was in a happy place. My depression had lifted. So
much more resilient.
The digestion is also needed. Good digestion is needed for a good mental health. I'm sure of it.
Because the happy hormones,
Well, 90% of the happy hormones, your serotonin, is produced in a nice healthy gut. 80% of our immune system belongs to a nice healthy gut. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I haven't pointed out there, a fourth point that could go in there, is replenish the good gut bacteria on a daily basis. But enzymes certainly
unnecessary. So Peter was born actually with enzyme deficiency, because when he was a little baby, he was allergic to all kinds of milk and he nearly died. So then luckily Pete's mum thought outside the box, and she actually mashed bananas and boiled dates or something, and she gave Peter a mixture of banana and dates that kept him alive till he could eat solids. And then but you were always extremely allergic to milk, and living on a dairy farm, of course, that didn't help. So Pete was obviously born with an enzyme deficiency, and his health dramatically turned around completely when he introduced enzymes. And you've been taking enzymes now probably for close to 30 years, I guess, because you're 66.
We're all born with the deficiency of enzymes to break down vegetables, because our pancreas doesn't produce the enzyme to help break down veggies. So
you need fermented vegetables then?
Well, to get the most out of any vegetable you eat, have an enzyme that contains cellulase to help get the goodies out of them.
Like digestive. You can check our online store. We have a huge range of enzymes because, of course, we swear by it because it turned our lives around. Yeah. And normally when you're 27 to 30, age 30, your enzyme production in your body drops off, and then over 40 it drops off even more. And that's Mother Nature's way of moving us out of the way for the next generation, right? So you can stop the aging process and become young again by taking enzymes every single day, which is what most of our clients do, don't they?
I had one young woman come to me who was very anorexic. She couldn't put on weight. Her digestive system was
broken.
Kaput. And she just wasn't absorbing any nutrients whatsoever, and wondered what she could do. I recommended those few things that I've mentioned, and 6 weeks later she was asking, when do I stop putting on weight? She started absorbing the things, digesting and absorbing the things that she needed.
So her body was rebuilding itself.
Yep. And another young guy who came to me, he had a long history of just explosive diarrhea. he'd been everywhere, he'd been to specialists and tried numerous things. Someone recommended he come and see us, and I recommended those few things that I've mentioned. And 3 weeks later, he had one bout of diarrhea, and he said, "I think I'm cured." So that's getting the digestion sorted out. All the other systems in our health will improve dramatically, and we'll have the life we deserve.
That's right. So keep in touch with your body, right? You will know, if you're listening to this, you can probably recognize, oh, that's me, or oh yeah, I have something like that going on. And it's also really important to inspect what comes out of your body, isn't it, Peter? And people find that when they supplement with the supplements we mentioned to get your digestion back on track, you don't have as much gas, and you also, it doesn't stink. What comes out of your body just smells like digested, like food. So everything improves. Also then your lymphatic system doesn't have to work so hard, because your body can detox itself naturally.
Well, the liver is the detoxification organ, and that's continually getting rid of the waste better, and all our body
benefits from it greatly. And your family does too. And of course you get healthier rather than older, right? So that's another really important thing. So it's all in this article, which I will attach below the video, and take some time to read through it. So the point that we're making is that everything hinges on your digestion, and it makes sense when you think about it, because basically we're just a tube, aren't they? Think of a bike tube or something that starts in your mouth, then it just runs central through your body and finishes at your bottom, and all the rest is situated around it. So we need to get that central core self of you healthy and strong for you to have a good life. And even if you were born like Pete with imbalances, they can still be corrected at any time of your life, because your body likes to be healthy better than it likes to be sick. It's not natural for you to be sick. It's natural for you to be healthy. So
if your digestion hasn't been working for quite some time, and you haven't been getting the nutrients that you needed, so you picked up some deficiency disorders, I offer people the full health audit so I can find out what actual imbalances there are, to
pinpoint the problems,
the deficiencies, so you can supplement with different nutrients for a little bit of time while your digestion cranks up, and hopefully you'll end up getting everything from the diet you eat.
And Peter will tell you as well the diet, if there's anything that needs to be tweaked. So I will put a link for that in the article as well. I hope you were able to see this video properly, because we're having trouble with the internet.
Yeah, we had a few.
We've had a few goes at
half a dozen false starts.
So, but anyway, I hope this finds you well, and that you find our videos helpful. Let us know if you've got any questions or anything that you want us to shed light on. We're here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, seeing clients, and our online shop is open 24/7. If you come on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, we have a receptionist that you can talk to as well. Looking forward to seeing you.
Have a good week.
Thank you for watching. Bye for now.